Welcome back to Real Food, and today we're going to talk about this very interesting citrus fruit. It's called grapefruit, and we're going to discuss many useful things that this wonder fruit offers, and we're going to also consider some of the dangerous things about this fruit, and hopefully how to avoid this so that you don't actually die from eating this fruit. Well, you probably won't die if you eat it, but there are several very dangerous things about this citrus fruit that potentially everyone consuming it should know. I'll just mention a few things. The fact that this fruit and the juice from this fruit is mentioned on a very large number of pharmaceutical packages because it interferes and it creates problems for drugs absorption should give you a really good warning sign. So you really do need to consider all these additional capabilities of this citrus fruit. But let's start first of all. Well, this is what it looks like. This is a classic yellow grapefruit. This is what it looks like inside. It's yellowish, pinkish flesh, and this is what it looks like on the outside. I'll tell you some of the really nice things about this fruit. In 100 serving of this fruit, there will be just over 7 grams of sugar, so not huge amount, looks like. There's also 8 grams of protein, so there's just as much protein in it as sugar. But listen to this, there are amazing vitamins. There's 3% vitamin B1, 2% vitamin B2, vitamin B3 at 2% as well, vitamin B5 at 6%. So there's a good selection of different vitamins. B6 also at 3%, folate, and there's at 3%. There's choline at 2%. Vitamin C 40%, so it gives you a really good serving of vitamin C. And now let's look at the minerals. Minerals also looking good. Calcium 1%. There's hardly any iron, just a tiny bit. But there is a little bit of iron. There's magnesium 3%, manganese 1%, phosphorus 1%, potassium 3%, and zinc 1%. So these are all the good things. Vitamin B, vitamin C, some of the minerals, some of the really good essential minerals. But let's now have a brief chat about these other dangerous things. Well, the dangers of this fruit are pretty severe. I mean, for example, if you take medication or any pharmaceuticals, you really need to check the small print, because many of them will mention that you can't take any those medications if you are also taking grapefruit juice or the fruit itself. And this is because this fruit has components, certain types of coumarines, that block absorption of those pharmaceuticals in the intestine, and they also interfere with those pharmaceuticals. So you don't know what you'll be getting basically, and you could have some really dramatic and adverse side effects. So you need to be really careful. Well, other problems is the same thing that it shares with bergamot. So it has light sensitivity, and it's not light, it's sunlight sensitivity. So if you consume a reasonable amount of it, you can have certain unusual skin issues like pigmentation or sensitivity or something like this. So this is not unique to grapefruit. It's also a feature of other citrus fruits, specifically bergamot and other citrus fruits. But this particular one is also very high on these side effects. So you need to consider whether you're going to spend a lot of time outdoors and specifically in the sunlight. Well, these are two major problems that you really do need to worry about when you consume these fruits. But let's also consider some of the benefits in addition to the vitamins and minerals. There are many claims, specifically from those who follow this grapefruit and vegetarian fat burning diet, that this fruit also helps you burn fat and helps you reduce the amount of fat in your body. I don't know how true these claims are, You'll find lots of other videos from other people who do this regularly, and they will tell you all about it. But I suspect that these same benefits of fat reduction and fat burning come from the fact that grapefruit and juice, they actually block absorption of certain nutrients in your body, and I imagine it blocks also absorption of fats and sugars and other elements. So you see, there's probably truth in it, but I just don't know how effective it is. And also, what you need to consider that these specific components that are responsible for blocking certain things within your body, they're not always, well, they are in the juice, but they're also contained in high quantities in these white segments, these sort of chewy bits which you need to chew. So if you eat, for example, let me show you, to benefit from this, you can't just drink the juice. What you need to do, you need to cut it like this, create a segment, and then look at this, and then you open it up and you eat your fleshy juicy bit with these white components, with these white separation skins, because this is where these active ingredients actually reside, and they will provide you with much higher dose of this those chemicals. So if you eat it like this, you won't have as much sugar because there will be some fiber, and you will also benefit more from these. But equally, if you're on medication, you're taking pharmaceuticals, you will actually make this worse for you. So only do this if you are healthy, you're not going to have very long sunlight exposure immediately after you've eaten, or within several hours, and you're not taking a lot of medication, because all these things will actually create a problem for you. So this is, pretty looking fruit, citrus, you think what could go wrong, but there are a lot of things that can go wrong. So there you go. Well, I'm going to eat it because it's winter time and I'm not exposed to much sunlight, and I could do with burning some of the fats, or maybe not absorbing. So yummy. It has a really pleasant taste. It's not too sweet like oranges. It's basically like bittersweet orange, but not as sweet as orange or mandarin. And actually the history of this fruit is that it was created by accident, and it's a hybrid of several different fruits. Yummy. Well, now I've got inside my mouth that all those skins and bitter tasting separation segments. I'm going to eat them because this is where you get some of the benefit when it comes to fat burning, potentially, and other things. Okay, well, that's one way of consuming grapefruit. It's called grapefruit because of how these fruits, they're very large, but they grow on tree in segments where there's lots of them in certain segments, a bit like grapes on a vine. So that's where the name comes from. Okay, if you want to make juice, then you cut it slightly differently. You cut it in the middle, but not across its points where it attaches itself to the tree. You cut it in the middle here, so that you create this familiar, this pattern basically, where you see all the segments, and you've got your center in the middle, also a circular center in the middle of it. The reason why I mentioned this, well, it depends obviously what kind of juicing equipment you use. I simply use a mechanical juicer. So here's my mechanical juicer. It's very simple. You place your grapefruit on top, and you use your hands. You burn some fat and sugars in your body by exercising, by rotating it against this metallic juicer. You turn it round and round. I actually really like this method because I work with computer a lot, so my hands also benefit and fingers benefit from this different action, which is not what I'm normally doing in computer. So it's fantastic. And you can even rotate your hands. You use left, right, left, right. So once you've squeezed. That's what it looks like inside after juicing. So once you squeezed all the juice out of this one, you can squeeze a bit more here. Okay, this can go in the bin now. You take the second half and you do exactly the same. You go round on this circular motion. Interestingly, what it says in the description, the juice contains some lime juice in it, and citric acid, and some lemon, I think, and orange. So these are the components of the juice. So you are actually getting, with grapefruit juice, you're getting several citrus varieties, as well as citric acid. And I was surprised to learn that there's only 8 grams of sugar in 100 grams of this fruit. You know, it's probably still quite a lot, but if you're not consuming too much refined sugar, this natural sugar might be reasonable. But you do need to double check on your sugar intake, because it is still sweet. It's bittersweet, but sweet, but there's quite a lot of sugar in it. Well, this is one of the ways, and what I will do, I will also add a little bit of lemon, because I'm going to drink this, so I'm also going to squeeze a little. I've got some leftover lemon, so I'm going to add some lemon juice. And you know what, another interesting bit of information about lemon, well, we all know about vitamin C, right? How it helps your body and everything else. But also, scientists have discovered that it's not just vitamin C on its own. Lemons, for example, they have certain other chemicals and components that actually help you fight bacteria and viruses. And this is not just vitamin C, it's all these additional flavonoids and other components of the actual lemon juice that protect you and help you deal with any infections or bacteria in your mouth, etc. So that's why lemon juice is quite effective, and you can see it being used with fish very often. If fish is not 100% fresh, there will be some bacterial growth in there, but if you use lemon, it neutralizes it to a point. So here we are. Here now I've got my beautiful. And another thing you can do, the actual skins, you can use them to extract essential oils like this. You squeeze them on the side, and well, I'll do it directly into the actual juice. Here's what my juice looks like. It's fairly pale yellow liquid, just like the fruit itself. So, but you can also squeeze additional essential oils from the skins by squeezing the skins, and it will make it actually a lot more aromatic. This is what they do in bars when they mix cocktails for you. Then they take the skins and zest of lemons, oranges, mandarins, grapefruit, and they squeeze those essential oils out of those skins directly around your glass. So when you get your glass closer to your face, you can experience all those beautiful aromatic components of those citrus fruits. So, well, hopefully this was useful. I certainly learned something here. I was aware of all these additional, but I just wanted to make sure, because I'm making a video and somebody else will be using these videos, I just wanted to make sure I've got all this additional useful information, as well as warnings, so that you're fully aware and you don't hurt yourself by eating grapefruit juice or the fruit itself. So, and now I would like to wish you a great day and good appetite.